Welcome to Pete's Garage. So today I'm going to be kind of going back to basics. Today I need to obviously clean the garage, and then I have a couple of little projects that I need to do. I'm going to make a modification to the winch on my Jeep, which I'll get into in detail. I'm going to adjust the throttle cable for the 700R4 on my pickup truck because the shift points are a little weird. And I had adjusted it when I first put it in, but I think I need to readjust it because it's hunting between third and fourth. So, on to it. All right, today I will be installing the Superwinch 2277R wireless remote for the SX series of winches. For the SX, even though I have a synthetic rope on here, I upgraded the rope. It came as a steel rope winch. And the steel rope winch does not come with a wireless remote. The synthetic version does, but the steel does not. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting in the retrofit kit to add a wireless remote to my SX12 winch. So, on to it. First, we remove the cover from the control solenoids. Really, I believe they call that a contactor. And actually, while I'm in here, I should change that contactor because I think I have an issue with mine and I have a replacement. Since I'm going to be replacing the solenoid, I'm also going to remove 12 volts from the circuit. At the same size. Yep. Alright. So, you can see, let's turn this upside down. First you have to take it off of the bridge, and then there are 4 more bolts on the bottom that hold the contactor box together. This is very solidly constructed. There we go. Aha. All right. So at this point, I am going to disconnect my battery, or disconnect the winch from the battery. So another problem that I'm having is I believe that this thing right here is broken. Well, not broken, but not working properly. This one, I believe, is sticking and is causing me problems. And so, I am going to replace it. So remember the order, blue, black, white. Let's take a picture of that. Let's take a picture of that. That way, in case you get confused about where your connections are going, you can always refer back to the picture. We don't want to yank too hard on those wires because it would suck if that came apart. There we go. I already had to replace this one, obviously. These 1/2 inch, they are. That might even be 12 millimeter. Let's go take a look. And in fact it is. All right. So I'm calling this a contactor because that's what we call it inside the office. But most people would think of this as the winch solenoid or the winch relay. And really all it is just a big electronic relay that when you put power onto here, it engages between here and then sends power to either forward or reverse or forward. I don't know which side is which. But what I do know is that this one is sticking. And so, I got a brand new one. At this point, I suppose I should give full disclosure and say that I work for Superwinch. I am one of the product coordinators for Superwinch. And so I supervise and manage the development flow and process of all the new products that go through our company. Our parent company is Weston Automotive, and we make side steps and bumpers and stuff like that. This is not an ad for Weston, but that is where I work. So, the neat thing is that, as you can see, we use what we sell. We make all kinds of stuff for JKs and JLs and Gladiators. We do not make very much for TJs. And so the only real thing that I can get from work that works on my Jeep is the winch. It's not that we're ignoring Jeeps, it's that, you know, we put our primary focus on where the market is. And there's already lots and lots and lots of companies that make aftermarket products for my Jeep. So, that makes it pretty easy. Alright, let's put this all back together. Before we do that, let's read the instructions. They come with a handy dandy instruction kit that tells me how to wire it. I might have to change a wire, or may not, I don't know. Alright, did that. Unplug. Right. I am going to have to splice into these wires if I also want my wired remote to work, which I will do. So, alright. This goes on here. This is going to go here. This is also going to go here. This and this go there. This goes here. And of course, this goes here. Yeah, that's the way that all went. Alright. Yeah. Let's do these one at a time. exactly how that went. And that goes there. Well, that was pretty easy. So, again, if you don't know how the wires go, take a picture before you take everything apart. Taking a picture guarantees that if you can't remember how it goes back together, you can figure it out. Also, when you're putting everything back together, kind of just make sure that there's nothing interfering and nothing's crossed or touching. The wires are pretty well pre-bent to where they're supposed to go, but it's just safe practice to make sure you don't have any shorts. Alright, it's always handy to have double-sided sticky tape, and all we're going to do is just stick this down on there so that it doesn't float around and cause problems. Yep, we're going to have to splice, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to there we go. We're going to expose the wires, and then we're going to use my favorite splicing technique, which does it like this. Right? So, what we do, we poke a hole in the wires, and then we cut and strip. Twist that up, and you poke that through the hole you made in the strands, and then twist it all together. And then, since it only takes a second, and it's the right way to do it, we'll put a drop of solder on there. Fairly easy, light color to light color. You don't have to think too hard about it. All I need. And remember, kids, do not stretch and pull. when you stretch the tape, it has a tendency to contract back to where it was. And so when you stretch and pull it and wrap something, it pulls itself off of the wrap. So don't stretch and tear. Cut your tape. You'll have much better luck. A most proper way to do this would have been to cut both leads, put a big chunk of heat shrink on it, and then slide it back up over the solder connection and then heat shrink it. But that's a little bit of work. So now the white one goes here, the blue one goes here, and the black one goes here. And down through that hole. These fit inside there. That's good. All right. Then plug that into there. Of course, the final test will be to plug the power cable back in and see if the winch works. Alright, so here's the wireless remote. Oh, I need to turn it on. It worked. Go in. Wireless remote works. Nice. Alright, so the way to get the wireless remote to turn on is to hold the in and the out buttons together for about 5 seconds. And now it's engaged and ready to go. And to get it to turn off, do the same. Hold it, light goes out, you're saving your battery. It should auto off anyway. We'll find out. I'll just leave it like that and see if it times out. So, as you can see, if you forget to deactivate your remote control, it will time out automatically. And that is a battery saver, and so the batteries will work for a long time. The wireless remote comes with batteries pre-installed. I don't know what they are, but when they finally die, I'll make sure I update. Okay, so now I am going to adjust the transmission throttle valve cable. It is shifting kind of weird, and I'm not sure that it's exactly correct. I did adjust it when I installed the transmission, but it seems like it's hunting between third and fourth. So I'm going to readjust it and see if I can make it work. To do that, you push that little gold button that's down inside the bracket, right there. Right there. And you slide that sleeve in, and then you get in and you floor it, and that pulls it out, and that gives you your full throttle adjustment. So I'm going to do that. Oh, but that button, of course, is hard to push, so I'm going to do it with the screwdriver. So you saw that, I pushed the button, slide the sleeve back in, and now I'm going to get in and floor it, and that should adjust the throttle cable. And so it popped out just a little bit, and that's where it needs to be. Now we'll go for a test drive and see if it worked. And that fixed that problem. So the problem that I was having with the truck with the transmission shifting was twofold. One, the throttle valve cable was just slightly out of adjustment, and so I readjusted that using the normal procedure, and it was also down about 1.5 quarts of fluid. So I topped that off, and it's shifting perfect and driving great. So that solves this problem.